there are local lordships who rule over these small villages. Very much a feudal system where, just hundreds and hundreds of miles of farmland that's all agricultural based, ruled by one guy in a castle. So you have this giant, almost endless plains where a lot of the humans are. This is one of the major human areas. This is one where they grow up. This is where they live, where they die. This giant, almost endless, and you actually are in and around the outskirts of a city known as Hexos. Again, let me spell that in chat. City called Texas. Sounds like Texas, and that is a pun. That is exactly a pun. Because it is kind of in the middle of the continent, kind of on the southern edge near the Gulf. The Gulf's kind of a ways off. It's about 400 miles south of where Hexos actually is, which is kind of in the middle of the territories. There is a pretty decent-sized river that goes up from north. It starts in the Gulf itself, and it actually winds its way up, cuts through the countryside, and actually is where Hexos was originally created, was near this large river. It was created by a noble family who own these lands. And because they're at that nexus between the river and kind of the northern plains there, it was almost a perfect location to set up a trade city. And it has just boomed from there. There's, it's a big, huge, bustling city, very well enforced, very well reinforced. There's about a 50 to a 60, 100-foot wall that protects the city. It's like a good, 20, 30 stories tall, this gigantic, massive stone and metal masoned wall that encompasses the entire city and makes it that very unique hexagonal pattern that the city's kind of famous for. So all of you guys, through backstory means, have made your way either in and around or near the city. Sabrina, why don't we take this opportunity to actually kind of go down the line and kind of give the audience and everybody kind of a little blurb about your characters. Musical, do you want to start?
What? I was adjusting my headset. Sorry.
Tell us who you are, who you're playing, kind of a little bit of your backstory, not too deep, just kind of a little couple of sentence blurb.
I'm playing human Paddlin, who is ridiculously lawfully good and also ridiculously socially naive, because this is the first time in her life she's ever ventured outside of a monastery or left her hometown. And she's in the city looking for details and possibly revenge.
And you're in Hexos looking for information.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome. Shadow, who are you and why are you here?
I am Javik, the Arakoka from the Silver Feather clan. Right now I'm on the pursuit for my missing father and find out why is he missing and where he's gone and all the secrets that surround him of this formula that can ward off demons or deter demons in certain ways. And the bit of the wild card, because I'm kind of out of my element as far as being around other races is concerned, like humans and whatnot. Yeah.
Awesome. And for the audience at home, the Arakokra are a race of bird people. They tend to keep to themselves. They're extremely rare outside of their own personal clans. So he's kind of a sore thumb, kind of sticking out in the open. This bird, eagle-type head person kind of wandering around, which is kind of awesome. Really unique. Toriko, who are you playing?
So I'm Adlet Meyer. I was born in the village of Hasana, which is then ravaged by mercenaries. And so instead of being killed by them, I decided to join their group And now my merc boss, after traveling for many years, we're going to take on a big city. And instead of just pillaging it to the ground, I'm supposed to go in and kind of work my way around as a spy. And I'm a halfling bard.
Awesome. And Sabrina, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Maria. I am a wood elf druid, and I was in a clan of hunters, but because I was kind of the oddball, I kind of had my bear friend killed. Pretty much said screw you to all of my clanmates and left. I ended up helping the caravan take care of their horses as soon as they came into Hexus, and that's pretty much how I'm there.
Oh, awesome.
You want to talk about the missing party tonight?
And we do our rogue. We don't know where our rogue is.
He screwed up his work schedule, and
which is a little disconcerting. So the rogue will reappear. We just don't
next
know
week.
Where. So everybody, check this shit out.
I think he said he might actually watch from work if he's able.
So, a black line.
I
Oh, okay. No, you really have to zoom out a lot.
Yes,
Oh, this
scroll
is
out
Picasso
a lot.
art. Picasso art.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is just...
Shadow's never drawn this well in his life.
Ass city. Exos.
Yay, I'm
is
in the green
ginormous.
region.
I'm probably hanging around
Wait,
here.
how am I supposed to know where I am?
We'll figure that out in a minute.
I bet you anything I'm in that green region.
Yeah. So the city itself is split into 6 sections. They each kind of have their own little thing that they do. You have the market district, which is kind of the first area you kind of see as you're first going into town. It's kind of like a mixture between a farmer's market, an outdoor market, and kind of like a flea market, and Walmart. Like
Bazaar! That's the word you're looking for.
Walmart?
Yeah, it's a giant bazaar that takes up a good third to a fourth of this entire area of that side of Hexos, which is right here. This is why I like Roll20, because we do things like that. In this gold area here is where the giant bazaar is. It's also where the bank is, where they store all the money. Being the fact that it's such a reinforced city, this is actually one of the major banks and gold depositories of this side of the continent, as well as the entire continent of Amarek itself. Like, this is like the frickin' Swiss bank. Like, everybody keeps their money here because this city.
Ooh, money laundering!
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
But we'll get to that. You have the Crafters Guild and the Crafting District, which is this one right here. A lot of raw materials. As you can see, kind of the road kind of splits off and goes 2 separate directions. This main road goes into the marketplace, and that's where a lot of the foot traffic is, and a lot of where the out-of-towners come in is through the market district. But you see all of, like, the carts filled with, like, ore, raw materials. A lot of, like, the raw materials and supplies actually go up this side road to the Crafters Guild proper, which is, its centerpiece is kind of this massive forge that's, like, it's huge. It's a giant forge, and it looks like it's, sorry, not forge, smelter. It's a giant smelter. It's got these giant vats of molten metal of different varieties and kinds, like gold and silver and brass and everything. Kind of filling these giant vats, and it's kind of heated underneath by this almost perpetual fire. Nobody really knows how it's kept alight, just so much that the intense heat coming out of this forge is just so unbearably hot, and the people who work these smelters are just really hardy individuals. That get paid a lot of money.
Hazard pay!
Hazard pay. Then you have the Blue District, whose kind of centerpiece is the college and school that they have there, the Mages College. It's kind of its big centerpiece. It takes up a good 2/3 of the entire district. This is Jazz College. Think of it very much like a university, where it's got the main buildings, and then it just kind of spreads out and has all these little
Like a tumor.
dorms and places where mages set up shop. It's got the school. It's got pretty much the basics of it. And the cool thing about this particular part of the city is that every other district kind of has houses kind of haphazardly built wherever they please, wherever they can find room. But the Blue District has very strict rows of very defined, individual, identical houses, almost rows upon rows upon rows upon rows upon rows in this district. Very uniform, very geometrical, very straight. Kind of almost disorienting because of the fact that you've got all of these other houses kind of built wherever in the other districts, and then you've got these very, very defined row houses in the Blue District. So those are kind of the three main ones there. Now, who said they were starting in the Green District? I think that was Maria. Or Maria.
Me.
Or Maria. Yes. I don't know if she's back yet. Actually, let's go to.
I'm back.
Let's go to musical, and let's switch gears to there. The White District is where the temples are. That's where the churches are. That's where all of the churches of worship are. Every deity you could ever think to know has some sort of temple in this area. There's a giant monastery for where the monks hang out. And like this entire area just kind of emanates. And it's a very soothing place to be. It's where the hospital is. And so that's kind of what the White District is. The Green District is, half of it is a giant ass park. Think Central Park in New York. Which is kind of, like I said, kind of jarring because you've got house, park in the middle of a city, surrounded by a wall. So yeah, a good 2/3 of that entire district is just a massive park. As well as, I'm missing a thing. A lot of the noble homes are also here, so you see kind of like these bigger, kind of, not necessarily mansions, but kind of manors that are kind of situated in points in this area, because this is also where a lot of the diplomats hang out. Where the major diplomats and where what's the thing that it's called? Where people from other countries come.
Ambassadors?
Ambassadors. Yeah, I think ambassadors and the... Oh my goodness. I can't remember the name of the place. It's an actual building that you go to.
The embassy?
Thank you. That's where all the embassies are, is in the Green District. The Black District is a giant